Las Vegas earned the nickname Sin City, and according to a new 60 Minutes Vanity Fair poll, it makes no apologies. Those surveyed put Vegas #1 on the list of cities that care the least about their reputations. Tehran, the capital of Iran, comes in second. Bangkok is third, followed by Amsterdam. Mike Hogan's Vanity Fair's digital director is here with more results from a poll that looks at our ethics. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So when it comes to people being dishonest, what's the absolute worst thing that they say that they could do?
The absolute worst thing that anyone can do in terms of, well, we asked a bunch of different questions, right? And so we asked one about which of the following would you do for your child, and 50% of people said they would let their kids win at board games. Only 3% said that they would provide them an alibi for a petty crime. So a nice range there in terms of things that people are, you know, when they're trying to teach their kids into ethics.
Then there's the question of emails. Who would snoop around and read their spouse's friends' emails?
Yeah, the good news is that most of the time your spouse is not going to look at your emails if we believe the answers to our poll. 39% said never. Another 39% said only in an emergency. Only 5% said whenever they can get away with it, they'll snoop around. And 12% said when they're suspicious. So a little bit of a danger there.
Gail and
people, yeah,
we found ourselves aligned on this issue of if we would snoop or not.
Yes.
And what was the answer?
You're too lazy to do it.
I would, though. I don't have any boundaries in terms of snooping. I'm just too lazy. Yeah.
I say people who have nothing to hide nothing. So it shouldn't matter if I just take a little look-see just to see what's cooking on the email.
That's right.
Let's talk about immigration, though, because
see what's cooking.
Immigration is obviously something people are really debating a lot right now, especially when it comes to party lines between Republicans and Democrats. Who is more likely to report an illegal immigrant living next door?
Well, not surprisingly, Republicans are more likely to report illegal immigrants, but nobody is terribly likely to do it. 35% of Republicans said that they would. Only 22% of Democrats and 23% of independents. 57% of Republicans said they would not report somebody living next door. 74% of Democrats, and I think Gail in the green room said, as long as they're not doing anything illegal,
that's right.
You know, let them live. Leave them alone.
That's right.
And what about Edward Snowden? Because a lot of people had one opinion and then they evolved into another opinion.
Yeah, well, at this point, it's kind of funny because 19% said they don't know who Edward Snowden is. So first of all, we got a large group of people with their heads under rocks. Keep that in mind as you assess all of these results.
Yes,
but 54% said no, he did not act ethically. That's basically 2 to 1 with public opinion running against Edward Snowden. And I think as revelations continue to come out, people's thoughts on this seem to be evolving. You know, there was a time when it was clearly a lot of people thought it was heroic. Now, as the repercussions come through, some people are questioning that.
Well, the other round, too. Well, a lot of people thought it was awful and then began to say, you know, that because of investigations followed, that it was okay.
Absolutely. I think it's kind of a fluid situation. It's so complicated.
And the biggest ethical misjudgment in U.S. history? The
biggest misjudgment in U.S. history, not surprisingly, is slavery. 38% of people say that was the worst thing we ever did. 20% said the treatment of the Native Americans, followed by Vietnam, Iraq, and with 7% said bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So there's still some people who didn't think that was a good idea.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. Always interesting to see what we would do in these situations. Yeah.